Hey guys, what's up? JK with Porn Reboot here. Welcome to the series on the 5 rules of rebooting. Today we're going to be talking about rule number 4, which is always implement self-care. You have to have self-care in your life while rebooting. And self-care is simply the process of taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. Now, typically, when you're struggling with an out-of-control behavior with porn, sex, or masturbation, you've been using it to escape from your pain, you've been using it to relax, and you've typically been also using it to reward yourself. That's how it has worked for you. And now it's time to replace the relaxing, the rewarding, and the escaping with self-care. And that can be challenging. That is actually what a lot of men spend the majority of their time when they're working through a system trying to implement, because it really has to be a habit that you build up in your life. So without self-care, it doesn't matter how much therapy you do, it doesn't matter what groups you go to, it doesn't matter how much you pray, you are always going to relapse, because self-care is one of those rules which absolutely cannot be broken. Now, one of the things that's very common with men who are introduced to the concept of self-care during their reboots is that some men don't feel that they deserve to give themselves any self-care. For instance, with the porn reboot system, the vast majority of our clients are business owners and high-performance professionals. So it's not uncommon to hear a man say, you know what, JK, I don't deserve to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep, like getting restful sleep, because, every other night I've been spending 2 hours viewing pornography. I'm worthless. I don't have any self-discipline, and I have a business to run, or I have a busy dental practice or law practice that I need to focus on. Instead of working on what I needed to work on last night, I spent that time masturbating. I don't get to have 8 hours of sleep. Men like me need more discipline, need more focus. And that sort of mindset is actually one of the things that is sabotaging their recovery. On the other hand, there are some men who may claim on the outside that they are engaging in appropriate self-care. They're like, yeah, I'm working out, I'm eating right, I'm around the right people, I'm resting my mind and my body. But in reality, you don't truly feel that you deserve it. So you're not implementing self-care to its full ability, and you're just skipping out on it. You're not eating healthy all the time. You eat healthy sometimes, and other times you're like, nah. You work out sometimes, and other times you're like, I feel I need to be working on something else that my porn addiction has taken away from me. That's one of the things that screws up many men's reboots. Now, sometimes men bring up the fact that they're a family man. They're like, JK, I'm married, I've got kids, I got a business to run, I got a very busy career, and all this self-care, this making an effort to eat right, waking up early and going to work out, or working out in the evenings after work, all these little things that I'm doing, getting more sleep, this is taking away from my family time. I feel that I'm being very selfish when I focus on me, just me alone. And I've been trained, or I believe that I have responsibilities. I have to give my wife attention. I have to take care of the kids. And I can't be doing all these things for me because I have a problem with pornography. But it is important to remember the difference between selfish and self-care. And the way I describe it is, you become selfish when you start taking more than you need. And you are engaging in self-care when you start taking as much as you need. And with that in mind, it's also important to remember that you can't be good to others if you're not good to yourself. So many people are stuck in their current lifestyle, especially men who are struggling with an out-of-control behavior with porn and masturbation, that they fail to realize that they're not being the best business owner or employer, they're not being the best father, they're not being the best husband or boyfriend that they can be, because they're not taking care of yourself. When you start taking care of yourself, you actually start looking at others in a different light. And they start noticing that you actually care about their mental health, about their well-being, about their own self-care. And it doesn't feel as if you're preaching to them because you are actually implementing it in your life. And it's showing. You're just like, I feel good. I want others to feel good. And I'm starting to notice people who are not taking care of themselves, who I care about. So that's a very powerful thing, and that's one of the great benefits of self-care, and one of the reasons why you shouldn't consider it as something that's selfish. I'll give you a typical example of what some of my clients do. Let's say that you're working on a big goal, and this is a very common mistake that professional men who struggle with pornography make. You're working on a big goal, and when you complete that goal or that project, that's when you feel that you deserve a reward. But during that project, even if this project lasts weeks or a very long period of time, you don't believe that you deserve a break. You don't believe that there's anything to celebrate. You don't believe that you deserve any self-care. And what happens is that you keep all your self-care for the end. And this is a mindset that's very prevalent among professional men who are struggling with porn, as I said earlier. You keep all that celebration for the end and self-care. Unfortunately, what is happening is at the end of the project, you start feeling that you deserve something great, something big. And that usually ends up being pornography. That's how a lot of men fall for the trap of using porn as a reward for a job well done. One of the ways to short circuit that habit pattern is to reward yourself at certain milestones during a long project and break the habit of actually pushing yourself throughout the project and thinking like, I don't deserve to do that. It's not over. I'm not going to put a gold star on the calendar. I'm not going to celebrate anything because the work isn't done. But you don't realize that it is the mere fact that you are not taking care of yourself during that period that is leading to your slip and to your relapse. And one of the things I do with my entrepreneurial clients, my business owner clients, my high performance career clients is to really keep them accountable on self-care and pacing themselves. One of the best things you can do for self-care, one of the easiest hacks, if you're like, well, JK, how do I start? Just start with your mind and body. And that starts with eating healthier, that starts with exercising for your mind, it starts with taking some time in the morning to journal or to reflect. We've got a wonderful workbook in our Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, click on the link below, join our Facebook group, get the workbook, use that in the morning before you even pick up your phone. And we'll show you the basics of taking care of your mind and your body. And a little later, we can focus on some advanced means of self-care. And there you have it, brothers. Rule number 4, self-care. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the 5th rule of rebooting. I'll see you then.